when in our previous video. This is what happens when you first go to Trello. So this is your main screen. So a board is basically an individual project. So if we want to create a new board, we'll type the board in here. Let's call it holiday project, holiday plan, create board. So it's, not sure what's still going there. So it's put the background on there for us. But so that's an easy way to have multiple boards on your Trello account. So we've got 2 boards. But we'll just, for the moment, we'll just go back to this test board. So the test board comes with originally 3 lists. So your board is your main project. Your lists are so lists of tasks tasks that are relevant to each other, and then a card, which is within a list, is an individual task. So if I want to add a card, I'll just put my first task there, then hit enter and it's done. Now, if you want to change the name of that, you just click the little arrow here, which allows you to do other things as well. But so I want to edit the labels. Sorry, wrong thing, but you can change things. My first. So there. Now, if we want to edit the actual task itself, you click in there. You don't click on the arrow. So we click there. We can add a detailed description. So description of task. Save there. Now, we'll just close this. Now you'll see that there's the little lines there, which means you've got a description in this task. So make sure, some people put a comment, think that the description is a comment, but it's not. A comment is something that one member of your team is writing. So I'm going to write a comment here, a comment from me. Click save, close that, and then we'll see that we've got a comment as well. So again, if we edit it again, we can add labels, which we looked at before. So that just puts a colour on it. We can put a due date on it. So we'll put tomorrow. And we can obviously add an attachment. We can do all sorts of other things. So we'll close that for the moment. And now you'll see that it's got a due date, it's got a description, and it's got a comment. You can also add an itemised list, a checklist, which is what I meant to say. So we'll just call it my checklist. Add an item. So you just type in first item, hit enter, second item, hit enter again. And that's really good if there's a lot of subtasks to do within this task, or people have got to go through a procedure. So we can then see that there's checklist items, there's 0 of 2 done. So say I've done this one, I just click on that, and then we can see that it's 1 of 2. So that gives you a whole lot of information at a glance. Obviously, you've got to click on that to see more details. And one of the beauties of this is, say we want to add another list. I'm going to call it prior to do. So this is stuff that we need to prepare for before we do a to-do. So we move this over in front of that. So one of the beauties of these is you can move your You can move everything around everywhere just by dragging or clicking, holding and dragging. So my first task, say we've done that, which we haven't really, well, at the moment we're doing that. So we put that there so people know that it's being done at the moment. And let's say we click on that for the second item, close that, 2 and 2, that's done. So we drag it over here to done. So it's a very good and easy way to do things. And then something happens here, we've still got to do one more thing, so we just drag it back to doing. It is a very, very easy way to do things. Now, if you want to add a member to your team, it can be anyone else in any Trello or someone else within your own group, just click on that and you start. Now, I've got show us. You just put their email that they've got in there, and then it gives you the name and usually a little thing there. Click on that, and now I'm a member of this team. Now, one of the things you can do here, so say we want to get into this, I want to write a comment, but I want me as not me. I want to inform Grey Gypsy. So I just put start typing in that. That comes up with me. Remember to do this. So once we save that, that means that I, as Seamus Campbell, as Grey Gypsy, will get a notification that I've got to do this. So most things you just look in here and everyone comes and has a look when they're ready. But in this instance, you specifically wanted to talk to Grey Gypsy to say to do this. Remember, you've got to do this. So Grey Gypsy will get, I'll get a notification email from Trello. No, what? I should have got an email from Trello saying that I've been joined and to do that task. But for some reason it's a bit slow today, but it will come through. One of the other things that is handy to know is that you can show the menu here, and that shows the history of what's been done. So that's quite handy to see what's happening, and then you just close it there. And often you'll get notifications here. And so we've got no unread notifications at the moment, but that's it. That's probably the main things that to do to get started. An idea is to just do a test board initially so that you can play around with ideas. And not only can you move these around, but you can rename them. You can rename them. It's at any time, and as I said before, you can drag them around between one another. Okay, that's the basics of it. Very quick, very easy, free, and just a very, very clever piece of software. Okay, thank you.